Aloha, my name is Jessica Oyanagi. I'm the owner of Home Sweet Maui Realty and Mana Moments Photography. I'm a small business owner and entrepreneur living on the island of Maui. I create videos here to share my Maui lifestyle with you, give you a glimpse of what it's like to live on the Valley Isle, and I also create content that helps to educate and inspire other small business owners. Aloha, this is Jessica Oyanagi, owner of Home Sweet Maui Realty and Mana Moments Photography in Hawaii. Thank you so much for joining me for Sip and Talk Story today. Today we're going to be speaking with one of my oldest friends, Miracle Laurie. Miracle is the owner of Have Zen Will Travel, a virtual mindfulness coaching business based out of Los Angeles, California. Today Miracle is going to share with us her top 3 mindfulness practices for entrepreneurs. We're also going to tell you about how you can get an exclusive offer on Miracle services at the end of this video. So grab your favorite drink and join us for Sit and Talk Story. Cheers. Good morning, Miracle. Thank you so much for being on Sip and Talk Story this morning.
My pleasure, Jess. Thanks for having me.
Today, we're going to be discussing 3 mindfulness practices that you can use to create and run a successful business. Now more than ever, mindset is a huge part of running any healthy business. So Miracle, what exactly is mindfulness anyway?
Thanks for having me, Jess. This is really exciting. So mindfulness can be described in lots of different ways, but I like to introduce it to people as simply the pause. So mindfulness, yes, can be taking all the benefits from meditation. So when we connect to our joy, to our love, to our peace, all the things that we find when we meditate, and we kind of carry it out into the world with us. But just to super shrink it down and make it digestible, it's the pause. It's the pause before we reply to the email, right? It's the pause before we deal with our kids. It's the pause before we make a big business decision or deal with something personal going on. We can take the moment, just take a breath, pause, and then pivot to the next thing, or make sure that we're making these choices and taking these actions and saying these words from a place of choosing instead of reacting. So I just wanted to offer that to everybody as a great place to start.
So Miracle, the first topic that I want to discuss today is overcoming fear. As a small business owner, there are lots of times when I need to use mindfulness to overcome huge amounts of fear when I'm starting a new project or when I'm starting a new business. I remember when I left my day job a few years ago, I was super scared, right, about starting Mana Moments Photography. And you really helped me out with some tailored meditations that you created for me to help me get through that time. So can you just talk to our viewers a little bit about what types of practices you would recommend for overcoming fear as an entrepreneur?
Thanks. That's a great question, Jess. The first thing I'd like to say is that fear is natural. So we can start by making peace with that is part of it. It comes with the territory when you are an entrepreneur. And I think that's something you and I have learned together as we've both been on our journeys, and kind of every new adventure, every new decision you make, there's that little energy that bubbles up that is fear, and it is a natural thing. It's a part of life. And I would say just learning how to make peace with that, make friends with that, let it be okay. There's an amazing woman named Elizabeth Gilbert, and she wrote a book called Big Magic, which I would recommend to everybody. It's really about being a creative person, which when I was thinking about this today, all entrepreneurs are creative. We're basically creating something out of nothing, right? And that's really amazing that we do that. But it means you're kind of perpetually on this unknown path. You're charting your own territory. And yes, people have done things, they've come before you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You and I have figured that out. Please go find people smarter than you and get the help, right? Get the guidance, find your mentors, whatever. But a lot of it is going to be it's just kind of you making decisions and doing things you've never done before. So I would just say kind of owning that. And in mindfulness, in meditation, in my coaching practice, and any of my programs, it's really about coming back to presence and starting with the reality that you're in, not the stories that we make up, not the things we project. I can't remember who said this quote, but it's basically worrying is just a really poor use of the imagination, right? It's say that again?
Energy, spending your energy and your time worrying is not a productive place to go. Entrepreneur.
Yeah. So I just think, the odds of something just totally going poorly and the odds of something going really well, they're even. So you choose where you put your energy. You choose what you're betting on. Bet on you. Bet on life. If we really look at the evidence of how far we've come, that the universe has guided us this far to have this idea. Like you have this idea for this business for a reason, right? Because you want to be of service, because it makes you happy, because you want to make an impact in the world, because you want to create wealth for you and your family. Like all those things are really beautiful. So trust that you had these instincts and this intuition and this guidance for a reason, and just keep betting on that. So I hope that's helpful for people. We start there. But Liz Gilbert again says that two things about fear. One, it can look a lot of different ways. So I'll speak for me. Depending on the project or the task, I will let perfectionism get in the way. I'm a chronic overanalyzer. I'll spend 3 days writing an email instead of just write it and send it, make sure it's in line with your values, what you want to say, be clear, and just hit send, and whatever happens. But she says that perfectionism is fear in high heels, which I think is brilliant because we dress it up as all these kinds of things. And for some people, that's how we self-sabotage. It can be a lot of different things. So just be aware, just open your mind to it, be conscious that it is an element of this work, and just get okay with it and try to have fun and find your way back to your reason, your why, for why you did this in the first place. Because I don't think fear is even anything to and I'm fearless and I've overcome all the things. No, it's part of the package now. And she says, I'll let fear be in the back seat, but I'm doing the driving here. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we have to keep coming back to, and just know that this is part of it. But it also means you're on the right track. So I would take encouragement from that as well.
Well, and that's what I was going to add to this conversation is, a lot of being an entrepreneur is taking risks, and outside of your comfort zone, doing things that you've never done before. And there's no way you can grow. There's no way your business is going to be successful. You're going to evolve as a human being if you're not putting yourself in those very uncomfortable situations.
Right.
So maybe before we end this topic, can you talk about how, some of those tailored meditations that you sent me were really guided towards what I was going through at that time, and they helped me kind of shed some of my old ways of thinking about work, right? I was a 9-to-5er my whole life. My old ways of how I was perceived by my friends and family in my life, being able to shed that emotionally and move forward. I don't know, that was what I took away from those meditations. So how can meditation help people specifically move through fear?
It's so interesting. Yours was really fun because I've known you for so long. and I too come from that 9-to-5, grind it out, work hard. I was in this workshop once, and someone said, raise your hand if you like to build monuments to all your hard work. And I was like, but I think for me, and I don't know if this was the same for you, but I would hide in that. That was my way of self-protecting from the fear or taking these risks. And again, it's just really tricky because part of the entrepreneur path is, and I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, I can't remember, but it's the notion of having vision. Oh, we are going to talk about this, is not a problem. It's not a bad thing, but that can also get the best of us if we're not careful, right? We see all the wonder and all the incredible things. And we might see a way of doing things that no one's ever done before. And that can be uncomfortable too. So I would say it, and I actually, we explore this a little bit in my signature program, You Are Your Own Miracle. Like week 1 is coming back to yourself, like being in alignment with yourself. And we can discover that in meditation. We can kind of tune in to who we really are, who we've always been, you know. And I think part of that in meditation is just that getting still. And if anyone's new to meditation watching this, let me tell you really quick, there's no wrong way to do it. There's no wrong way to meditate. Just sit down, be quiet, and try. You've done it, okay? And we're going to do meditation at the end of this, so you'll see for yourself. But I would say that a lot of people, they end up making lists when they sit down to meditate the first time, because they're not used to just taking like 5 minutes to be quiet and not be on their phone or dealing with the kids or whatever. There's a lot of distraction out there. So with meditation, it's our opportunity to it's the ultimate self-love, it's the ultimate self-care, right? And so I think, like any muscle, if you're working out, if you're learning a new language, you have to practice. They call it a meditation practice, a yoga practice. So just start is what I would say. And when you get there and you sit down or you lay down and you put on music or find a guided meditation, do the one, that we're going to talk about later today. Just start and see what comes up for you. I know I'm going on a tangent here. It's kind of my thing. Sorry, not sorry. But because I think that's the other thing too, is meditation is not about fixing anything or running away from anything, right? It's about being present to what is. So if I'm in pain, if I have some injury I'm working through, like just be present in your body. If I have this like massive to-do list waiting for me on the other side of my meditation, like let it be okay. It's not going anywhere, but these few minutes are for you. And just kind of being aware and observing and just returning to your breath. And then you'll see that naturally, like just a byproduct of that is things start to fall away. They start to shed. You tune back into you tune back into your why. And then it just makes everything easier. I think, I don't know, you tell me, Jess, but like when you really tune into your authentic self, it's easy to make these decisions. It's easy to move forward and say, you know what, like maybe my family doesn't get it. Maybe my friends are not coming with me on this journey, but like I have this path and I'm going for it because it's my life. Like, I don't know, nothing's guaranteed. So I gotta try, So I think it's easier to be braver the more we tune into us, and meditation is the way to do that for my money.
Well, the final thing I want to say on this topic is I just want to say thank you, because I had meditated before and done yoga before, but it wasn't really something that was a consistent part of my life. And I guess I always had kind of this mystified vision of like having to spend an hour in stillness, and you know what I mean? You make it in your mind like, well, I don't have time for that.
Right.
Yeah, you introduced me to the fact that it doesn't have to be this big epic thing. Like I get up every morning now, I go on my porch away from my children. Like this is during the pandemic, so like I need to create that container, that space for myself. And it's 2 minutes, and it's tuning in, and it's also, I do my affirmations at that point in time, and it's resetting my mind before I even start the day, right? And it really helps me get through the tough stuff, especially as an entrepreneur. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome, friend. Yeah.
Okay, Miracle. The second topic I would love to discuss is manifesting your dreams. As we were talking about before we hit record, I said that you're kind of the manifesting queen. It's manifesting your dreams, and I've been witness to it. I've seen it happen, and really for me, I think that means when you as an entrepreneur have a vision, right, for your business and big goals and dreams and where you want to go, and it's all about how do you combine your faith, right, in the future with action, right, with the things you actually need to do to succeed and to achieve those goals. So if you could just talk a little bit about manifesting your dreams for entrepreneurs.
Affirmations. So these are some of my favorite things to do in the world, affirmations. And what I'll say about that is we have a lot of self-talk. It's not just me. I'm not the only one that talks to myself, I'm sure of it. And we have like these stories looping in our head, these beliefs about ourselves. And with mindfulness, with meditation, you're going to start to hear those. They're going to be a little more clear for you. And Jess, tell me if you've started hearing these more once you started like really focusing on yourself and presence and turning inward. And some of them are not great. They're like not nice, and they're not even true. I'll give like a really banal example. I said years and years ago, I was introducing myself to somebody. It was like a getting to know you women's group or something. And I was like, I hate Brussels sprouts. And then I was like, I heard the words come out of my mouth and I was like, no, you don't. You make them every holiday. Like, what are you talking about? But like 8-year-old Miracle hated Brussels sprouts. You know what I mean? And we forget, we've been saying these things for so long, we forget that they're not even true anymore, even if they were once true. So when you start tuning in and hearing those stories, I would encourage everyone to, when you hear these BS stories or these beliefs that aren't even real, or even if you feel that way, but you don't want to, like you can choose an affirmation. You can write an empowering affirmation in either present tense, like I am blank, or I have blank, as if it's already happened, or the past tense. Google affirmations and find something that works for you. Because again, we all have, even if meditation is great for everybody, affirmations are great for everybody, all this work, everything we're giving you in this video and all the other ones Jessica does, you have to find the version of that works for you. Like Jessica and I know for a fact have different morning practices. We have different morning routines, but meditation, journaling, affirmations, like they all find their way in, but our rhythm is different. So find affirmations, like a style that works for you. And I have them posted everywhere. I say them every day. Jessica says hers every day. And just act as if you have everything you want. And if I may, sorry, Jess, one more thing is, as far as the self-talk goes and just the words coming out of our mouth, you can say, I want a car, or I want my ideal customer. Like you can walk around thinking, oh, I wish they would book with me, or I wish they would sign up, or I wish they would just sign the contract, or I want this. And every time you say, I wish, or I want, that's not an affirmation. You're confirming the thing that you don't have. Does that make sense? If you're saying, I want this, you're actually confirming that you don't have it. Versus if you said, my ideal customer is ready to buy, my ideal client is right around the corner. My ideal client is ready for me, and we're going to find each other when the time is right. And, that kind of present tense, positive way of just kind of talking to yourself and moving through your day-to-day operations. Like just integrate it into part of your day. This is part of the work, and how you can create a business and a life of your dreams.
Okay, Miracle, the last topic that I would love to talk about is self-care. As an entrepreneur, it is so difficult, right? When you have so many things you need to do to run your business and to take care of your personal life. But I have found, especially during this pandemic with children who are home and virtual schooling, that self-care has been super key, because if I don't incorporate the self-care in my schedule, then everything else just kind of goes to crap. So what are your recommendations for self-care for business owners?
Okay, it's a big topic. I will start by saying that it's key to find and figure out what you need specifically. Again, we all need something different. So if you have kids, that's one scenario. If you don't have kids, that's another reality, depending on, a lot of us entrepreneurs start our businesses while we're still working for somebody else, right? So our plates could be really, really, really full. I would like to offer a word change. Part of mindfulness is awareness, present moment awareness, right? Being aware of ourselves, our surroundings, all that kind of thing. So it's really interesting. I was doing this exercise with somebody else, and I said, think about your schedule and anything that you love about it. Like I'm guaranteed to have happy hour with my girlfriend every Friday or something, right? Or like I have date night, or I love going to the park with my kids or whatever. If you have stuff that's built into your routine already that you love, like write that down or highlight it. Just kind of, dump it all out, your whole schedule, anything that's like normal ish, write it down. And anything that like lights you up or fills you up, it's the whole oxygen mask on the airplane thing, right? But I like to also think of it as filling your well, because if you're operating from an empty well, you're no good to anybody. If you're on empty, you're on empty. And that is going to manifest in a not so positive way, right? So anything that you already do that you love, that you can't imagine letting go of, like I call that a non-negotiable, right? So for us now, it's our morning routine, right? So whatever anyone watching, whatever you already have in place, like honor that become aware of that, name it, and then make sure that if things start to go sideways for whatever reason, like you can find a way to ask for that within your family, within your community, to make sure that you get to keep that present as part of your day. On the flip side, if there are things that drive you crazy, that you hate doing, that stress you out, that bring you no joy, that drain you, I would encourage you to, one, see if you can change it, like get rid of it, change it altogether, ask someone else to do it, delegate it, or just like let it go, because a lot of times I like to say, we just how our society is, I think, honestly, and part of that grind mentality that you and I grew up in, there's a lot of shoulds and a lot of supposed to. And I like to say you can take your shoulds and shove them. Like it doesn't mean anything, that's just what society decided we should do. And part of being an entrepreneur, as we've said many times, is making your own way. So look at things that you might be doing because you're supposed to do them. And if they don't bring you joy, find a way to let them go. Like just do it. Just find a way and set them free. Say, thank you for everything you taught me. Goodbye. I'm not doing this anymore. If you can delegate it, find someone else to do it for you. If you are not there yet and you have to keep doing the things you don't like doing, that's where mindset comes in. And start changing your words and say, I get to do this instead of I have to. Because believe me, I've had plenty of day jobs that I do not like. They do not bring me joy. They kind of made me miserable. We've all been there, and some of us might still be there, and we're just doing whatever we have to do. So instead of I have to go to work, say I get to go to work, because you know why? There are a lot of people that don't have jobs, and you get a job and you get to put food on your table and you get to have a roof over your head. You're an able-bodied person. You're finding a way to make a way in the world. Like you get to go work. Like it's a get to, I'm telling you. So it's just flipping the script a little bit. It's shifting our perspective into one of gratitude. Which brings me to gratitude. If you do not have a gratitude practice, please find one. It can start small, like thank you for my bed, thank you for running water, thank you for food, thank you for my family, thank you for a beautiful day, thank you for the butterfly that I just saw go by my window. Start small. 3, before you go to bed at night, just say thank you, thank you, thank you. So as you look at your own routine, keep what's working, get rid of the rest or change it, or change your mindset around it. So this is a big topic, but that's what I want to give everybody to start with. And then you'll see that again, kind of like coming back to your natural state or doing these meditations or doing these gratitudes puts you in a better mood. So you make choices better choices, and you make them better. And it makes moving through everything easier. You'll also notice, and Jess, I think you can attest to this, that once you start setting healthy boundaries, right? Like loving no's, brave asks, heck yes, once you are really moving forward from a place of self-love first, you will see that it starts to open things up in other people, right? It starts to maybe I should, like it gives people, there's a beautiful quote from Marianne Williamson, and I'm going to totally butcher it, so I won't even try. But basically, when you start to shine your light, it gives other people permission to do the same. That's it. And that goes from everything to owning your mistakes and moving forward with gratitude and humility, to having like really proud, excited moments and celebrating. So let's talk about this really quick. You and I, Jess, are really lucky that we have each other and we get to be on this journey. So I would say anyone out there, go get yourself a team, find some people, not a team working under you, but seek them out, find mentors that speak to you, find fellow entrepreneurs. There are a million online groups and communities, and again, manifest that. If you feel totally alone, which sometimes it does feel lonely being an entrepreneur, start manifesting, saying, I have the support that I need. The universe supports me. My mentors are ready for me. My contemporaries are available, and we're going to rise together. Just start thinking that way and trusting that they're all there. But one of the things that has brought me a ton of joy, and I think is really important, because I've been overcoming my impatience as a human and as an entrepreneur, because it really does take the time it takes. But I think what helps me with that, and one of the ways you and I get to support each other, is celebrating, right? Celebrating our wins. And I think as an entrepreneur, that's actually in with self-care, which I never really thought about before, but I think it is. It's like taking the time every day to be like, wow, I can't believe I sent that email. Wow, I got a new email subscriber. Like, wow, I made that deal. Or wow, I went for a walk today. Go me, and just whatever these little things are, like celebrate them. Because again, it's coming back to your why. It's coming back to feeling good and moving forward from that place. So I hope I touched on a lot and gave some value there.
Yeah, I want to wrap up that last topic by saying how vital it really is, because as an entrepreneur, as a boss lady, especially as a working mom, you always are constantly, it's like this ingrained cultural belief, right? That I should put my children first, I should put my husband first, I should put, everything else before myself, my business, and I just found I've been like tweaking my schedule and my time blocking, and I'm like now I have to go for a walk every day. If I miss the walk, I am a hot mess. I am stressed out. I can't focus on my work the same. Like there's just something about movement for me personally that does it, or whatever it is for you. Like you have to build that stuff in, otherwise it will affect your business. So I think like after being a 9-to-5 grind all day worker for 20 years, to step back and realize like, wow, caring for myself is a practical, part of running my business. So there's a lot of people I talk to who are business owners that experience, I think, again, it's overwhelmed. They think they need to do it all. I would say, like you said, finding your community, finding people that you can maybe hire to work with you as a team, asking the asks, like you said, from people in your personal life for support. Those are really skills that we're not taught, especially as women.
Right.
As being bred to be those 9-to-5 workers, it's not something that is ingrained in us at all.
Right. Right.
So the more you can explore that for yourself as a business owner, the better. So
yeah, and to your point, as we wrap up on this, just this notion of self-care is not a luxury anymore, and I think this time that we're in now, a lot of people have really seen and felt the value of it, which is amazing. It's a real gift to come out of this experience. So just deciding that it's not a luxury, it's not bonus time, it's not an afterthought. You can choose to make it a priority, period. Like that's it. And people are either on board or they're not, but as long as you're on board, you'll find a way. And I would also say, and Kate Northrup, another amazing leader in this space, she talks about, it's this notion of paying yourself first, like with money, but also pay yourself first with time. So when you're mapping out your schedule and figuring this out, you put it on calendar, like walk, meditate, journaling, daydreaming, bath time, like whatever it is, go get that massage, whatever you need to do. Because if not, the time will get sucked some other way. It just will. So if you put that on there and commit to it, and I do want to say, especially if there's anyone like super new to this, to being an entrepreneur, it's very exciting and it can feel overwhelming, but all of these practices that we're talking about, from meditation to just all these forms of self-care, to Jessica's point, right at the top, when I made that tailored meditation for her, I think it was 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Right? I think, yeah.
Super long. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a super random time. I just did whatever felt right to me to give to her. And it was 12 minutes long. You don't need 6 hours in a meditation chair. Like, no, even if you have 5 minutes, even if you can if even 1 minute feels like too much to you, I'm going to encourage you to just, as soon as you stop watching this, close your eyes and take one big inhale and one long exhale. And that's a meditation. That's a self-care moment. And you start there and you can build from there. So it doesn't have to be a big, crazy, extravagant overhaul of your life. Make some tea and breathe and journal and go for a walk and whatever feels good to you. So it's just about starting, and you'll see that it'll snowball in a really beautiful way.
So in conclusion, to wrap up, Miracle, I just want to say a big mahalo from my heart to yours for sharing, some of your mindfulness tips and practices with our viewers today. I think it's super important for any entrepreneur to apply this stuff from the very beginning, when they start their businesses. So thank you so much. And before we go, I just love it if you could tell viewers, where they can find you and learn more about your services. And I know you have a special offer that's exclusive to our viewers of this video today. So can you share a little bit more with us?
Thank you for having me, and this has been a blast, and I'm just so excited for you and all the awesomeness you're putting out into the world. So thanks again. HaveZenWillTravel.com is my company and my website. Also the handle on social, Have Zen Will Travel. And the special offer that I wanted to extend to all the viewers is there's going to be a link, I think down at the bottom, or however we're going to do this. And you can go to that link and you can download a special 20-minute meditation created just for entrepreneurs. So it's a mindfulness meditation with entrepreneurs in mind. So that can be, you know, especially if you're starting out to meditation, this can be just your home base. This can be your self-care. This can be how you start to vision every day, and you can implement it right away. So that's going to be for everybody. And then if you already have some kind of mindfulness practice or meditation practice already, and you want to go even harder, or when you're ready, and this will always be good. So whenever you watch this video, I'm going to honor this just as a big mahalo back to you. Any of my programs, my signature program or my master classes, all the viewers get 15% off. So whenever you watch this, anything that you see on my website that you're like, yes, that's me, let's go. You just put in the code and you'll get the 15% off. So thank you so much again for having me. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And we will put the link to that meditation down below the video. So yeah, that's great. And then before we leave, we would love it if you would just guide us through just a quick, maybe couple minute meditation, and I'll follow along with you. So.
Great, I'd love to. All right. So everybody sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. So if you've never meditated before, in about 3 minutes, that will not be true anymore. So just relax into the moment. If you want to lie down, you can. Please make sure you're not driving, obviously. So do so safely. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your hands. If you're gripping or making fists, just kind of settle down. Shake your hands out if you need to. Your palms are face down in your lap or facing up, depending on what feels good in your body right now. And go ahead and bring your ear to one shoulder, stretching out the side of your neck, and then roll down across your chest to the other side. Just kind of giving yourself a minute to stretch everything out and get into your body. Roll your shoulders down and back so your neck is long. You hike your shoulders up to your ears, roll them down and back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, engaging your tummy a couple times. And then just land in stillness. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So I want you to inhale through your nose, filling the belly up with air, and the chest rises. And then you exhale out of the mouth, making a noise or a little sigh. The belly contracts and the chest falls. Really good. 2 more like that. Big, deep inhale, filling the belly up like Santa Claus or Buddha. And the chest rises. And then you exhale out of the mouth, the belly contracts and the chest falls. Nice. Last one like that. Big, full, deep inhale. And a long exhale. And then just let your breath fall into its natural rhythm, your natural pace, whatever feels good and right to you. Just breathing in and breathing out. So as your mind starts to wander or thoughts come in, which is almost guaranteed because you're a human, just let it go, let it be okay, and come back to your breath. If you feel any physical sensations in your body, just breathe into them. Any tension, any tightness, any pain. Just breathe into that space, send some love, some light, some breath. And just feel yourself expanding and softening. And in your mind's eye, imagine that you're sitting in your favorite open space in nature. So whether that's a beach or a park, the forest, wherever you are, whatever feels good and relaxing to you, imagine yourself there. Feel the air on your skin. Just look around, whatever you see, whatever you smell, however it feels to be there, and just relax. Breathing in and breathing out. And just know that this space is always available to you. All you have to do is close your eyes, settle, and breathe. And if there are any outside distractions, any noises, any thoughts that come in, just imagine that they're balloons floating by in the scene, wherever you are, or clouds passing in the sky. We don't have to grip onto the balloons. We don't have to think about the clouds. They can just float in and float out. We come back to our breath. And we come back to the beauty of the present moment. So one more big, deep breath in, taking all this in, this beauty, this wonder, this light, this space. And exhaling out of the mouth. As you take your few last breaths, bring your hands to your heart center, right at the center of your chest. Say a silent thank you. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this gift of a day and all the opportunities and possibilities that lie before you. One more deep breath in. Gently relax your hands back into your lap on your exhale and open your eyes whenever you're ready. Good job, everybody.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. You too. It's a good day for a good day.